Hello wine people, in this video I will explain what is wine and viticulture. So if you're a WSET wine student or you just want to learn about wine in a structured and a fun way, this video is for you. So please, if you like this video, consider subscribing, sharing, comment. Please let us know what you think. We want to grow this wine channel to be a place where people can learn about wine in a fun and a structured way. So let's start. So we will be talking about what is wine, what is viticulture, what the wine needs. I will explain the stages of wine development and grape ripening, and on the end we will leave time for 10 WSET example questions. What is wine? What is viticulture? Viticulture is a science that deals with how to produce quality, healthy grapes that are going to be used for wine making. What is a wine? Wine is a wine plant that produces grapes that are used for wine production. Wine as a plant can grow for many years. There's an example of more than 100-year-old wines that are very rare in the world because of the phylloxera that destroyed the vineyards around the world. But these old wines are very valuable in their regions because they have a natural ability to produce low yields that can produce good quality grapes for premium wines. Here on the picture you can actually see how an old wine looks like. So how can you tell that it is an old wine? You can tell by the thickness of the wood. So a more thicker wood will indicate an older wine. Wine growth, I'll explain more in detail in the next slides. Is pretty much the same during the year. When the temperatures are outside reach 10 degrees Celsius in spring, wine starts budding. In buds you have the shoots, leaves, and the flowers that will become grapes and yields for the next year. During the summer, wine starts developing its canopy, its shoots and leaves. Grapes start to change color and start ripening, and at the end of the season you have your harvest when you pick the grapes, and on the end of the year when the temperatures drop, the wine goes dormant and the cycle continues for the next year. The main parts of the wine that you need to know are roots that are located in the soil. You have the trunk and the head, which is the upper part of the trunk. You have the buds that contain shoots, leaves, and tendrils and flowers. Shoots in the growing year will be green. On the end of the year, when the wine goes dormant, it will become a cane. They will become brown, and a cane is called a 1-year-old wood. If the cane is more than 1 year old, it will be called a cordon. Every flower that gets pollinated will become a berry. Tendrils are natural wine wires that before wine was using it to stand up and to catch the trees around it. And leaves are used for photosynthesis. What the wine needs. Wine as a plant, like other plants, grows through the process of photosynthesis. Wine needs 5 main things. It needs water and nutrients from the ground, and it needs carbon dioxide, sunlight, and heat from the air. So the process of photosynthesis uses chlorophyll that you find in the leaves and combines water from the ground together with the carbon dioxide and sunlight from the air, and produces complex carbohydrates. These carbohydrates wine uses to grow in size, and some part of the sugars also gets transferred to the grapes. And photosynthesis also produces oxygen, which is very important. What are the main parts of the grapes? It's stems, pulp, skin, and seeds. In the stems you have the tannin. It is not the main tannins because sometimes stems are used and sometimes they're not used in the winemaking. Inside the pulp you have water, sugar, and acid. This pulp is colorless, so with black grapes you can produce produce white wines, but with white wines you cannot produce red wines because of the color of the skins. The main water is the main part. More almost 90% of the pulp is water. The rest is sugar that gets fermented into alcohol, and also acid. Acid is very important because it gives freshness, it gives ageability to the wines. Inside the skin you have the phenolics like color, anthocyanins, and tannins. Tannins are also very important, especially to the black wine, to the red wines, because they give structure and ageability in wines. In seeds you have oils. These oils are very bitter, so one of the main considerations when managing the grapes is not to break the seeds in order for the seeds not to release this bitter flavor. Grape development throughout the year. So let's start on the end of the year when the wine goes dormant. It drops its leaves. Then during the winter, you're managing your wine, how the wine will look for the growing season. So you do your pruning. Pruning is basically the cutting of the unnecessary wood. You manage your shoots or your canes. Canes and your cordons the way that you want your vineyard to look like, and then in the spring, when the temperatures reach around 10 degrees Celsius, this is the time when the wine uses its initial carbohydrates in order to start budding and producing this initial buds and leaf growth. Leaves are very important because leaf creates photosynthesis. It produces carbohydrates that are used for wine to create the shoots and the leaves and the flowers. Every pollinated flower will become a berry, so this stage is called a fruit set. You also need to understand that wines are hermaphrodites. So hermaphrodite is a plant that actually has male and female reproductive organs. So the wine doesn't actually wait for insect for pollination. It can pollinate itself. Fruit set. Then during the summer, the grapes are going to start ripening. The starting point of the grape ripening will be veraison. So veraison is a time when the grapes start changing color. They start creating sugars, start creating flavors. Tannins start to develop. White grapes will become translucent, and black grapes will gain a little bit of color. During these ripening stages, what happens? Many things. Grapes fill with water, acidity drops, flavors start to develop, tannins also starts to develop, and the grapes change color. On the end of the year, when the grapes are perfectly ripe for the style of the wine, they get picked, harvested, and then you produce your wine. At the end of the year, when the temperatures drop, wine goes dormant, and the way it goes. On the end of the year, the grapes will become ripe, usually for still wines. So for your still wines, you want your grapes to be not unripe, not overripe, but perfectly ripe. But for a certain style of wines, like sweet wines, you can actually overripe your grapes. And when you overripe your grapes, you're going to have higher amount of sugar that you're going to use in order to produce sweet wine. So how to produce extra concentrated grapes? You have three options. So either you're going to produce late harvest wine, so it basically means that you're going to pick your grapes later in the season, on the end of the year. You can botrycide. You can have grapes that are botrycides or affected by noble rot, or you can actually pick your grapes very late in the season, or even next year when the grapes are frozen. So here on the top picture, you can actually see how the grapes change from perfectly ripe to extra ripe. So what is going to happen when you leave the grapes, when the wine goes dormant? the plant doesn't absorb any more water, and the water that is inside the grape evaporates, and you have the process of raisin the grapes. And these grapes are going to be extra concentrated with sugar and acid, and then you use these grapes to produce sweet wines. The other way is noble rot grapes. There's famous regions in the world like Tokai, for example, that are famous for noble rot development. You need to have special conditions in the vineyard. You have to have misty, humid mornings in order for the noble rot to develop, but then the day needs to continue to be sunny and dry in order for that noble rot not to become black rot. And then this noble rot allows that actually it's a mold that pierces the grape and allows the water to evaporate, but it also contributes a very specific noble rot aroma of marmalade. And then the third way to concentrate the grapes is to have frozen grapes. So a very famous and traditional way to produce ice wine in Germany or in Canada is to produce ice wines. You need to have temperatures outside that are -7. This low temperature freezes the water in the grapes and allows only for the pure grape sugar juice to be extracted. So what they do, they pick the grapes when they're frozen, they put them inside the pressing machine, and the ice together with the water stays on the pressing machine, and the pure juice goes inside the fermenting vats. So that's pretty much it. There's other videos that we're going to create for viticulture, but that's going to be the following videos. Let's go to some of the questions. So which wine species are used to produce most popular wines today? Vitis vinifera, Vitis labrusca, Vitis berlandiere, Vitis riparia. The correct answer is Vitis vinifera. Grape quality increases with wine age. True or false? True, but you need to understand this is not just as a given. These old wines have the ability to produce premium grapes for premium wines. What does photosynthesis produce? Sugar for the grapes, carbohydrates for the wine, oxygen, all the above. Correct answer is all the above. Where does main tannin come from? Stems, seeds, skin, pulp. Correct answer is skin. Why is acidity and tannin important? Structure, ageability, balance, all the above. Correct answer is all the above. What initiates wine growth in the spring? Temperature above 10 Celsius, sunlight, water, carbon dioxide. The correct answer is temperature above 10 Celsius. What is veraison? Bud break, fruit set, grapes change color, harvest time. Correct answer is grapes change color. Wine flowers need to be pollinated by insect. True or false? False. What happens with grapes ripening? Acidity falls, sugar increases, grapes filled with water, and flavors develop. All the above. Correct answer is all the above. Noble rot is used in which region? Burgundy, Tokai, Tuscany, Rioja. Correct answer is Tokai. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope these videos are helping you in your wine journey. So please, if you like this video, subscribe, share. Please let us know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.